The immortal John Hancock here, and today I have a topic that people are going to have comments about, and you're going to be either on one side of the fence or the other. And in the comments below, please let me know where you stand, and let's be respectful of each other's opinions, because there's going to be a lot of different opinions about this discussion, and I know that you're going to have your thoughts about it, and I want to hear about them. So the big topic today is not owning digital games. Does it matter? And if you haven't heard, recently there is a California bill. It's a transparency bill, and it covers movies, ebooks, and video games. And it's a bill that's going into effect January 1st, 2025. And what it's saying is any digital marketplace has to state either you have a license to use or you have an unrestricted ownership of the said item. And so there's more to this, and I read this from a Polygon article, and I know a lot of different media outlets were discussing this, but I know that I have my thoughts about this. And you know what, you may be surprised on some of it, but let's talk about this. So this is a proposal from California, and I think it's a good law, in which it states, hey, if you have a digital marketplace, you need to have a statement. This does not apply to subscription-based services, and you need to be upfront and say, like, pretty much when someone purchases something, is it a license to play, or is it a unrestricted ownership? And so there's a lot of challenges with purchasing things from a digital marketplace. I have my issues, and I've had my issues in the past. And the bigger thing is that it seems like, unless it's like Steam, you have these digital marketplaces pop up, and then once the console's long gone, eventually they get shut down. And so companies can revoke a license, and so that's a big challenge with a license. And so when it doesn't happen all the time, but then like it does happen in which there's a game that's offered on digital, and then it's revoked and it's taken away, whether they don't have the license anymore. And typically people get pretty upset about, not being able to play a game that they paid money to play and then no longer able to play it anymore. And in the comments, let me know, has this happened to you in what particular game? As I know there's several examples out there. The Crew comes to mind. I think it's an Ubisoft game. But yeah, so there's other examples as well. And so you can't pass your license to another person. So recently Valve had a short notice on the checkout page. This is for a license for a product to play. And so they are ahead of the January 1st deadline. They're saying that when you purchase a game, you don't own it. It's just a digital license. Okay. And so when you buy a physical release, you can give it to someone or even sell it to someone else. Like, I think, well, here's almost some of my physical releases that I have just around here. Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Smash Brothers Ultimate, and Metroid Prime Remastered. These are Nintendo products. I get a lot of my physical releases on Switch. I do have some PlayStation 5 physical releases, and some even Xbox One. But typically I like to own older games and have those on physical. With modern releases, it kind of blurs the line, because, the game on here, okay, yes, I guess you typically physically still own it, but it does require patches and updates. At the end of the day, for me, I just want to play the game. I don't really think about owning it. I think about playing the game and being able to play the game when I want to play the game. So, but for other people, it's a bigger issue. Okay. I like that, if you have this physical release and you're done with it, you can give it to a neighbor. You can sell it back to a retro game store, hopefully supporting that local retro shop of your favorite choice. Or if you don't have any of those, you have a local chain like, you have a nationwide chain like GameStop, which is probably going to give you like 3 cents. Anyways, that was a joke, not really. So anyways, going back to this California bill, AB 2426, there's a lot of opinions about this. There's a lot of on both sides. And so, you know, I've been collecting a long time, and I go back to, you know, going back to collecting Atari and even Odyssey 2. I got my signed copy here of Casey Munchkin. Anyways, I love collecting physical. I love supporting the physical game market. I'm a big fan of physical releases, you know, going back to the days of the Atari 2600. When it comes to new releases, though, I have embraced digital marketplaces, and I'm looking mostly at my Steam Deck here. Okay, does owning a does not owning a digital game matter when it comes to that? And for me, I can classify it into 2 categories. For older games, yes, I like to have the physical release. It takes me back to a classic era. You know, there's something about, you know, just holding one of my favorite games of all time, Robotron 2084 for the Atari 7800. You know, I love having a physical release of this. This started my whole retro game collecting passion that I have now surrounded myself with, and I love physical releases. However, going fast forward to modern releases, in which there's patches and updates and all that, like, to me, a physical release doesn't mean as much because it's not the entire game anymore. You know, games are being patched and updated all the time. And so for me, it's a convenience to have it on a digital release. And does that mean that I don't own it and it's just a license to play? Does that matter? For me personally, no, it doesn't. I know a lot of people are going to be surprised by that. And there's a lot of people that would just be like, physical only or else. You know, for me, it's a convenience factor. You know, I have I've really enjoyed the Steam Deck, and I have, you know, probably, you know, about 100 games on here now of various different releases, a lot of independent releases, and I don't care that they're digital only releases and that it's a license to play. You know, that's how I get my Vampire Survivor fix. Halls of Torment is another kind of indie classic that I'll enjoy playing. And there's some others. And you know what? It's digital only, and I'm okay with that. You know, I have some other digital only releases I picked up, and they're bigger AAA titles. I don't like the file size of downloading that massive allotment, and sometimes I like going physical just because it's less of a download, and it's less hard drive space. But for other people, it's a bigger issue. They want to own their games. They want to own them outright. They want to be able to, you know, trade that or give it to a friend or loan it to a friend, resell it. And it's a problem. It's a problem. And so for me personally, it doesn't matter. So the long ramble is, doesn't matter. Not owning a digital game doesn't matter to me. Does it matter to you? In the comments below, let me know. As you know, I enjoyed having this topic discussion. I know many people are going to have strong opinions about this. Okay, and you're going to tell me in the comments. I know there's a lot of retro gamers that are viewing this channel. And I want to thank everybody for coming by and joining me with this discussion. If you like what you see, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell, as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. Let's keep it positive and respectful of other people's opinions. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you take care.